Every graduate student in the biomedical sciences has a super top secret side project. The high cost of science means that usually you have to go to the boss if you want to start something new. But students will experiment on the side in the quiet hours of the night when the lab is dark, without permission. If the experiments don't work, no one ever knows. But if the experiment was a success, then the young student will go to the PI, beaming with pride, showing that their idea worked. In the past few years, this permissionless ethos has found its way into fields as far-ranging as finance, all the way over to art. The permissionless economy has arrived, and no one is going to ask to send it back. In this video, let's dive into this concept of permissionless and see how it's going to change the future. The term permissionless has only recently been minted. It was originally used to describe permissions around a blockchain ledger. A permissionless blockchain is one that anybody had access to and could write to and record a transaction within. But recently, beyond this technical definition, permissionless has been used to describe this attitude of experimentation, of collaboration, and of sharing. And this idea to empower individuals to do, to make, and to create and contribute. It's not surprising then that these ideas are baked into the blockchain, into decentralized autonomous organizations, and to other technologies driving this Web3 revolution. Permissionless means individuals just try it. In practice, a permissionless economy is being applied in several different ways, but they all have a common theme. Let's take a look here. In the field of journalism, the traditional way was newspapers, but a permissionless way is newsletters. We look at marketing. The traditional way is firms, but the new way is social media. If we look at finance, the traditional way is banks, and clearly the new way is cryptocurrency. Radios, the former way is radio stations, and the new way is podcasting. For authoring, previously you needed a publisher, but a permissionless way enables self-publishing. We look at teaching. Previously, universities were required. Now, we have a whole crop of course creators. And lastly, television. Previously, television required a broadcast corporation, but in a permissionless economy, we now have YouTube. In the traditional way, each of these fields had credentialing requirements, had barriers to entry, and had gatekeepers. In this new permissionless economy, anybody can experiment and thrive. See, it's not about anyone asking for permission or forgiveness. Instead, it's enabling anyone to try anything. Again, this is all about experimentation. Looking at that short list again, the traditional way required institutions and the structures that institutions provided in order to accomplish something. But now, anyone can do this on their own, and they don't have anyone to ask. What about permissionless science? Well, experimentation is clearly part of the ethos of a scientist, and the super top secret side project is a rite of passage. But so far, the technical requirements and sophisticated machinery that lab science requires hasn't allowed permissionless economy to drive major change. But like all established fields, change is coming. Take this side project, for example, Heureka Labs. I didn't ask anyone to start this. I didn't ask anyone to start writing articles or start this YouTube channel. I also didn't ask anyone before diving into computation and data science or developing data-driven hypothesis, this web app that we have that tries to accelerate science. But what do these side projects have in common with permissionless science? Well, first, let's consider modern science has three primary limitations, historical relics that hold it back. First, the process to get funding has gatekeepers and institutions that slow the pace of science and also disincentivize creativity and innovation. Second, the process of carrying out science is stuck in historical approaches and is not keeping up with modern technologies and data. Third, the process to share science requires months to years-long battles with editors and reviewers that often don't make the science better. How can a lab overcome these challenges? Well, permissionless, super top secret side projects in science. Imagine this future. What if labs could self-fund, raise money, build platforms, and contribute to and partially own digital assets? What would that look like? Imagine taking a scientific approach where enough data support a hypothesis that all but guarantee experimental success. That sounds nice. Imagine sharing scientific discoveries as they're made in real time, getting credit for, and possible future royalties from the discoveries within them. That sounds really nice. The technologies and platforms are being built and partially exist today that is enabling this possible future. But the amazing thing is that this future isn't restricted just to science, just my future. The transition between Web 1, which is this hyperlinked world that anyone has information and access to, and Web 2, which is its centralized, owned social networks, meant that anyone had a platform. As this transition continues to what is being called Web 3, barriers are falling, communities are forming, and individuals are enabled to build the future. In science and in life, you get going down a path. And of course, there are barriers to going new directions. We don't do that, or that's not our area. But a permissionless attitude, along with a special combination of fearlessness and naivete, is enabling anyone to try anything. So when it comes to your next super top secret side project, don't ask for permission. This is going to be the first video in a series where we're exploring how technology is going to change the future of science. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.